Hello friends, thanks for stopping by. Today's going to be another foundation review. My reviews are geared towards very dry skin. It doesn't matter if you're young or you're old, but I guess I would have to say they lean more towards the aging skin because I am almost 60 years old. I will be 60 in November. I have very dry skin. I have minimal pore issues. I don't have a lot of texture issue. I do have very slight rosacea here that is not really a problem for me. It only acts up once in a while. I do have deep folds around my mouth. I have sagging throughout here. I do have some deep wrinkles here. I have deep wrinkles around my mouth. I also have a deep wrinkle that runs across my forehead here and two very deep wrinkles here. And the reason why I point those out is because that is where I have most of my problems with foundations, powders, and of course if I'm using concealer underneath my eyes or if I'm using the foundation under my eyes as my concealer, that will become an issue. I don't have a big issue of wrinkles around here, not too much throughout here, but all in this area of my mouth, I definitely have a lot of aging going on, okay? So keep that in mind. I also have Botox here and only here. I don't have it throughout my forehead. I do not have any fillers, and they do a shot of Botox right here and right here to prevent my mouth from drooping down, but it does nothing for the sagging and the wrinkles, as you can see, okay? So we're just gonna be upfront about that. What else can I tell you about me? I think that is it. I like my foundation to look really good. I like to feel good in it, and I do like it to last. I don't like to see the caking and the sliding, just like the rest of you. But I am not looking for, I'm looking for the best foundation for my aging skin because I don't believe there is actually a perfect foundation. All right, so, and today's foundation is Laura Mercier's Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. The color I got is 2N1 Cashew. This is the one that was recommended to me. However, after looking at it in the bottle, I am quite sure that this color is not right for me, but we are going to go with it. It's going to be too light, and sometimes when you choose a foundation that is too light, it will age you just because it's lighter, but it will not affect the performance of the foundation. So that's why I will go ahead with this color, because I just don't have time to get the other color. And to be honest with you, I was having a hard time selecting a color for this one. Usually I'm a warm, and I had to go neutral with this one because the warms were all turning orange on me. So color selection may be a problem for you. But anyway, let's get on to what the website says about this foundation. It is a Flawless Lumiere foundation. It is $48 for the 1 ounce bottle. It comes in 30 shades. It leaves you with a luminous finish. It does come in a grouping of fair, medium, light, and deep with cool, neutral, and warm undertones. There are 8 fair colors, 8 light colors, 7 medium colors, and 7 dark colors, all ranging from cool, neutral to warm. And if you're not really sure what your undertone is, you're probably yellow if you're anything like me, and your veins appear to be on the green side when you look at your wrist. And gold jewelry usually looks better on you. You're a warm undertone. If you're pink, your veins tend to have a blue cast to them, and silver jewelry will look better on you. And neutral, you really have to kind of work at it. You really do. You have to find the right tone for yourself. So just keep that in mind when you're going to select, all right? This foundation is fragrance-free, alcohol-free, paraben-free. It is a silicone base, so it does have silicones. It gives you 15 hours of weightless hydration, not long wear hydration. It is powered by silver ear mushroom, which hydrates and smooths the skin. It gives medium to full coverage, a natural luminous finish, luminous in any light. It feels like second skin when wearing it. It does have vitamin C, which helps to boost skin's luminosity. And most people saw a change in their skin 4 weeks after wearing this. Well, we're not going to go by the skincare benefits of a foundation, okay? It has flexible polymers which melt into the skin, which create a long-wearing, comfortable second skin. However, it says 15 hours of hydration in the description, but it does say that the flexible polymers create a long-wearing, comfortable second skin. And it also has true color pigments, which helps to resist oxidation. Now, I will say for myself, oxidation is a problem with many drugstore foundations, and then even some higher end foundations. So we shall see. All right, so it is 9:45 a.m. Because if it was p.m., I'd already be in bed. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so on my skin, this half of my skin has my primer on it, which is the Hydra Blur Primer by Dermalogica. I've been using this one for a while now. I think the company might have sent this one to me in a package a while ago, and I didn't use it for the longest time, and then I started using it. I really do like the way it camouflages the pore area. I don't really have a big pore issue, but with the wrong foundation, they are accentuated. Okay, all right, so this side of my face will have the primer on it, this side does not. I will also use a sponge on one side of the face, and then I will use a foundation brush on the other side. The foundation brush I'm using is by It's their angled brush. You can use any dense brush you have if you like the application you get from a brush. But I'm going to use half and half, all right? Okay, so I have my handy dandy little tray here, glass makeup palette. Okay, so it comes in a really nice glass bottle. I do like glass bottles. Top comes off, let's see. You can twist this off, which I do like being able to twist this off, because when you get to the end, if you have the tiny little makeup miser, you can get in there and get the rest of your foundation. Okay, so it is in a pump, which we all love. So I did not prime this, so let me prime it. Okay, so as a pump, it comes out with a very, very small amount of product on it. And you'll notice that it's not dripping, so the formula is a little bit thicker. Now, start with 3 tiny little pumps, and we will go from there to see. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Sonia Kashuk sponge first. And now, Laura did give a tip on the website. She said not to overlap and in the center too much, where you actually have a lot of lines, because you will accentuate. So they must have had some concerns about this foundation if people applied it in the way they're used to applying most foundations, that they would not like the finish. So Laura suggests that you start from the out and you work in, being careful around the eye area where you have a lot of lines, or around your mouth area where we all tend to have most of our lines with age, of course. All right, so I'm going to go in the 3, and I'm just going to take it on my sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and start on the outer part and work this foundation all the way around. You can see already that this foundation is too light for me, but we're just gonna go with it anyway, my friends. Let's get the hair. I'm going to do a hair tutorial after. That's why my hair isn't in rollers. All right, so I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna pick up the rest of that and just work the forehead, the cheek area. So I put a little bit on the cheek area and then the forehead. In the viewfinder, from what I can see, it's looking really nice now. So we'll go ahead and just do this half of the nose. I'm not going to do under my eyes with this. I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to try a new concealer today. And then you can get a first impression of that at the end of the day. Okay, so that's 3 very small pumps. So let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to need a little bit more because it really did not cover this area or this area. So I'm going to go ahead and take 1 more pump. The pumps are really, they're very, very small. I mean, you can see that. They're very, very tiny pumps. So this, I mean, that's like a fraction of what most women use as far as foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on my sponge, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the areas that I think I need a little bit more for us to be able to really get a good feel for this foundation. Because too little, I wouldn't be able to tell by the end of the day. Go over my mouth area with it and my chin area. It blends beautifully. I wish you guys could talk to me so I could say, do you want me to do a second layer of it? Maybe I'll do a second layer over one side and then 1 layer on the other side. I don't care if I go out in public like that. All right, so that really is a beautiful, beautiful finish. It really, really is. It looks gorgeous in the viewfinder. It looks gorgeous in the mirror. And when I pull my magnifying mirror, this is a 5-time mirror, when I pull it up and I look at it, it's really beautiful. It truly is. I mean, the color isn't really that bad for me. I think if I got any color in the summer, and sometimes you can't prevent that, even though I don't ever lay in the sun, just being out, I do tan easily, so I do get a little bit of color. This would be too light then. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put 4 pumps on this because that's what it actually took for this side. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have our 4 pumps on here, and I'm going to go ahead in with the makeup brush now. And like I said, this is the It, and it's just their angled foundation brush. And pick that up into the brush, and I'm going to start working it on the outer part, like she says, and into the center. Careful not to overlap too much. I do like that she gave that tip, because most people would just go in and, you know, apply it like they normally do and maybe struggle with something that could have been a fabulous foundation for them. Okay, so I'm going to put what's left on the palette and going over my nose area. I'm going to go up my forehead. And that's it. I don't want to overlap too much with the brush because I think it'll start to separate on its own. Okay, so there it is on both sides. You can see, or I can tell in the viewfinder, that this does look a little heavier with the brush than it did with the sponge. So not bad for those of you who really want a little more coverage. I suppose I should state out, I don't like a heavy coverage foundation. I prefer the look of this. All I look for in my foundation is that it evens my skin tone and covers any imperfections that I might have without putting too much on at my age. Because then, I'm sure all of you would agree with me, the more we put on, the worse it gets for us if we have a lot of deep lines. Okay, so I can see that it has slightly accentuated the age on this side, more so than this side, if you really look at that. Okay, so let's see. It has a slight tackiness to it, more so on the side that actually has a heavier finish to it. The sponge side has less of a tackiness to it. And forehead, same feel. So let's just take a look at it. It looks good around the nose area. I do need to just touch there a little bit. Now it really is looking nice. It is already settling into the lines on this side of my face in my fold, but on this side it's not. So I'm going to leave it on that thick so that I can see. And then I will have to determine whether I need powder. At this point, if I'm using powder products, I would definitely need to powder, and I am going to use the Mercier powder because it's a Mercier foundation. So obviously she would suggest that her foundation plays well with her powder. So we are going to do that, but let's just give it a minute here and see what it does. While that's setting, I know that this is a foundation review, but I did go ahead, I was watching Lisa D1, and she was talking about the double wear, stay in place, flawless wear concealer. And she really liked it, so I thought I'm going to give that a try. I mean, I am 11 years older than Lisa, and I have more wrinkles than her, but and my skin's a little bit drier than Lisa's. So I went with the color Double Wear Flawless Concealer 1 Warm Light. So it's a warm shade, and let's just see how it plays while this is drying down, and then I'll go off camera and finish my makeup and come back. So let's see. It comes on with a doe foot. I'm trying a lot of concealer, so let's go ahead and just put a small dot because I don't know what this is going to do. I don't have a lot of Estee Lauder products because Lauder products sometimes bother me. Many will ask me, well, how come you don't use any Estee Lauder? I would love to. There's only a few things that I can use. I think it really has to do with something in their formula, the fragrance or something, that really does not agree with me. Okay, so that applied beautifully. It's a little bit light for me. Lisa and I do differ there. She prefers a little bit more brightness under her eyes, but she also doesn't have the issues under her eyes that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that down just slightly on the side because right now it's accentuating the loss of volume that I have here. And I'll just pop that out and make it look a little bit better. But it's going on beautifully, and it's not looking cakey or anything like that. So that's what that looks like. I may go in store and look at the colors of this and see if maybe the medium would be okay for me. Notice I apply my concealer away from my eye. I do it mostly where I have my loss of volume, and I start there and really fill that area in. And I also have all this bluing on the side of my eye that I like to cover up. And I usually draw it out to the temple because it adds a little volume to this area where I've lost volume. So we're going to go ahead and just apply that. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this side, just putting a touch right there. And then I'm just going to draw it down underneath slightly, just to really pop that out a little bit there. Okay. Not bad. It's not a bad looking concealer at all. So we'll see how it wears on me for the rest of the day. Okay, so let's feel the foundation now and see how it's feeling. It still has a tackiness. I'm definitely going to have to powder this down. Definitely. Okay, so I'm going to go off camera and I am going to finish up my makeup, and I will be back with the finished look. Oh my goodness, friends, I am back. I just had the worst hot flash. Woo! I wish I could come to you naked, let me tell you, because these are brutal. I don't have that many anymore, but I still get them. Woo! All right, it could be because I just did a hair tutorial and I was using a curling iron, and the heat from it must have just not agreed with my hormones or something like that. All right, so I'm just cooling myself down here. All right, so I am back with the finished look. It is now 11:08, and I just wanted to let you know I'm trying a new lash primer today. It's Grande primer. It's the Grande Lash serum. I'm also trying that now. So far, I really like this. This is not bad. I'm using it with the Estee Lauder Sumptuous, which is not, I like this mascara a lot, the way it looks and everything, but it does have a little bit of flaking to it. But I do like it because it's not thick and clumpy. It has a really great brush. But I do get minimal flaking from it, so I'm trying it. I'm hoping that I find the primer that makes it work, because I really do like it. And I've tried the CoverGirl, I've tried the L'Oreal, and I've tried the Revitalash, and it flakes with all of them. It's not a major problem with flaking, but there is some. All right, so let's take a look at this foundation and how it stands. I wanted to also let you know that on this side of the face, I also went with a continuous, Morphe's continuous setting spray. I just thought I would do the full Monty on this side and see what we get, all right? So, I am glowing. And because I am glowing, I'm having a little bit of mascara underneath the eyes. That is not normal for this mascara. That's one thing it does not transfer on me, but I am also wearing a new concealer, as you know, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, the foundation is looking beautiful right now with that major hot flash I just had. Everything is still looking great. It is collecting slightly on the side that does not have a primer on it, but it's not accentuating pores yet. It's only been an hour, so we will see. But right now it's looking really good on both sides, and I have beads of sweat up here, so we'll have to see. But you know what? This is real life. There are women out there just like me having hot flashes like crazy. So let's see how this foundation holds up. And I did only powder right here and right here where I'm putting bronzer. And everything that is on my face, and this hairstyle will be in a tutorial, but everything that's on my face will be listed and linked below. All right, my friends? So I will be back in a couple of hours. I may look different. I may have my hair up in a knot or something. You never know. And if I continue to have hot flashes like this, whew, I might have to get naked, y'all. Because this was a wicked one. All right, my friends, so I'll be back in a couple of hours, all right? All right, friends, I am back. It is the end of the day. I cannot wait to get these contacts out. I don't know about you guys, but I can handle about 8 hours max of contacts, and then my eyes just start getting really annoyed with them. So it's time to take the contacts out, and if I take them out during the video, then I can't see y'all. I can't see what I'm doing. So let's take a look at this foundation. Again, this is the Laura Mercier foundation. I am going to say that this foundation wore really well on most of my face. The only place that I'm seeing any kind of maybe separation is right here, and that is it, right along the hairline, and a little bit around the nose, but not enough to be noticed by anybody that's looking at me. Remember, I'm zoomed in to really examine this. Pores still look good. The folds on the side of my mouth, this one here has just a tiny bit of collection in it, and this one here has absolutely none. The powdered area looks fabulous. The areas that I didn't powder, it's worn off a little bit on my chin here, but I have been on the phone. And you'll see little scratches on me and little marks. That's my little Lula. She gets very excited and wants to give you all kinds of loving with her toenails. All right, so yeah, all in all, I would wear this foundation. And actually, I think the color did oxidize slightly on me, but it has warmed up a little bit. I think it has, in the viewfinder, I think it has a wonderful glow. And when I look in the mirror that is below, it still looks really, really good. And when I zoom in, it looks really good. And I did not powder this area at all, nor did I powder down here. And my nose still has a nice amount. Now I will say, because I have my contacts in, I did have my sunglasses on when I was out and about. And there are marks from my sunglasses. So if you're somebody who wears glasses on and off throughout the day, keep that in mind. But I also think that's something that you can just kind of fudge and make look better. Now the side with the primer and the setting spray did not really wear any differently. Actually, I think the side without, the side that this was the brush side, I believe. This side here actually looks much better on the nose area than this side. This side actually looks a little shiny, a little breakthrough there, and I'm not anybody who has any amount of oil to talk about in my T-zone even. And if you look at me head on and you look at this side, it's a little bit, has a little bit more glow in the nose area than this side. So both sides wore really well, really well. I'm going to say that this, above my lips, there's nothing gathering. I will say that on my forehead is the only place, like I mentioned, that I'm seeing a little bit of separation. But overall, I think that an aging, dry skin woman can wear this foundation. I think it looks really, really pretty on. And it played well with everything else. Now, I did wear it with the Laura Mercier, so if you're somebody who has the Laura Mercier, it did break through right here. Here did kind of wear off. But again, this side seems to have a little more shine to it than this side, the side that I put the primer on and the setting spray. So, you might need to play with what you use under it, because maybe this was too moisturizing for this foundation, and it does suggest that you use the Laura Mercier primer, which I do not have. I have worn it in the past and I do like it. So yeah, I think this foundation is really beautiful. I think an aging, dry skin with lines and folds can get away with wearing this foundation. Okay? I also wanted to quickly mention, and this will not be my review on this concealer, but I did want to mention first impression of it. It's pretty nice for my aging eyes, because I must say I am one of those women who is struggling finding the best concealer for my aging eyes. And I think concealers are right there along with bras and bathing suits. It really, we have a heck of a time finding those, don't we, ladies? So in the comments, let us know if you're wearing this Laura Mercier foundation and what type of skin you have. Have you been having good luck with it, or has it been a total fail for you? What type of skin you have? What has been the fail? If you're failing, is it accentuating lines, pores? Share with us in the comments. Remember, I'm only one lady here. And when you comment, you may help a woman who has skin just like you. All right, my friends, so thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you are made aware of all my videos. Go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.